everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans will need to be on top of their game if they want to come away with win number 9 on the season. It's the Black Knights going up against the Texans. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the London Black Knights and the Houston Texans. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard. Line. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his first pass is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and that'll bring up second down. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll set up to throw. Deep drop. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
And now a first down following that long gain.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Whitney Merciless is rapidly becoming one of the top outside linebackers in the game. As well he should. With that name, he's got to be great.
Ten yards still left on second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
A first down carry by Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep, and he will take it in for the touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll cut it to the right sideline. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 12 yards on the pickup. And that'll be good for a Houston first.
Double tight, guys, double tight. All right, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
Now let's go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
All right, here we go. Now look at 56.
Now a play fake here on first down. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play.
There's a good bridge to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
The offense staring at a 3rd and 12 here.
Here we go. 3-19. No. Check. Patriot.
Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now this this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll give to Elliott. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They come out here in the eye. Now back to throw. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Taken from just outside the 30. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Well, he just threw an interception last drive. Nearly another pick.
Things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? 'Cause that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. And they're going to go soft on the corners. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Osweiler, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So on 4th down, here's Jake Shum to punt it away. Taken in at the 11. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. And here now the offense heading back out there. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10.
Here we go. Boom, landed.
of the gun. They'll look to throw. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he pulls over it, and he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
They'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's a bold strike right there, taking it downfield and putting some air on it. But how about the coverage? Able to get his hands across the receiver and bat the ball down.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on third. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now it's Osweiler. Can't find anyone, and down he goes. Osweiler sacked. Jabal Sheard in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see.
Now let's go.
From the shotgun, Osweiler. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Fielded just inside the 20. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And on 2nd and 10 now.
Back down to that Philly. Here we go. All right, here we go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The give is to Elliott, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So 2nd and 10 here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Caught out left side by Robinson. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's got time, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he's a big factor in the run game. No gain.
The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On third down, Osweiler finding time. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. And fourth down coming up. Here's Jacob Shum now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll look to set up his blockers. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now back out comes the offense. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
Yeah, you love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. They'll drop the throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And you know,
now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Set, clean. No, check. Back 99 Philly.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
after all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun, out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. Now hold everything here, we're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see in the postgame. We're ready to get to the third quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Fresh set of downs here. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, Osweiler. Looking left side, and it's complete. A good pickup there at 22. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Give them 11 on the gain there. And the Texans are going to have a first.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So the D-line's going to spread out. They come up with an offset eye, and they'll run it here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They come out here in the eye. Now Osweiler on 2nd down. Caught left side Hopkins. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans draw a bit closer. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Here's a play fake. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off. Here's Brad Nortman now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25, and he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A big kick that time, 52 yards, and the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. On second down, here's Osweiler. Flushed out right. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. Touchdown, Houston. C.J. Fedorowicz, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans have retaken the lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
Forced out to his left, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defender's going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Here we go now.
Now a play fake here on first down. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They're going to look to throw. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his second touchdown on the season. And his guys have once again taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
They come up in an offset eye. A handoff as they run the counter play. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And sometimes when you're watching a game, you can actually see drills in effect during the ball game. And what I saw there was what running backs call the gauntlet drill, where they have to go through a series of defenders. We're going to hit them, poke at the football, make them bounce, spin, dig for extra yardage, the whole deal. And we saw it there. His running backs coach, he's got to be awfully proud of that run. You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Green 39! Green 39!
On 3rd and 1, Osweiler. He's got a man. It's Williams. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
All right, here we go.
1st and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And back at the 8 now, 3rd and goal.
Gone! Let's go! Green 39!
Here's Osweiler. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Elliott, and they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He throws, and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll run with Elliott. Muscles him off. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Second down following the run.
Watching that body. Good. Leopard. No. Check. Patriot. Over. Here we go.
Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Red zone opportunity. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And Robinson with a big catch. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And here we go on 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Looking to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. They isolate Hopkins on the left side.
Let's go! Detroit! Detroit!
On second down, here's Osweiler. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd down now after the pass completion. Now it's Osweiler. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Here we go now. Good.
Throwing now is Osweiler. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now a first down following that long gain. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. But I still remember my old coaches saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you. So make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident.
And as the 4th quarter winds down here, we're all even.
And no one wants this game to extend. They want to go ahead and win it right now.
Here's Osweiler. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So on comes the kicker, Cody Parkey, in a big spot. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And Parkey's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
One receiver left, 3 to the right.
Here we go now. Green. Watching that Marty.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Houston, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for our visitors, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.